And what about Netflix putting his, that series?
Servant
he
of
was
the
on?
People.
Yeah, they put
The
it.
series that his political party made.
Yeah.
And then he became president.
Like, we're not for Putin, but there's something
At least not in public. I mean, do that in private if you're going to do that.
Shut up.
Let's talk about it. So this Don't Say Gay bill in Florida.
Yeah. Which we shouldn't even call it the Don't Say Gay
No,
bill.
because it doesn't even say the word gay in the entire bill.
It just says basically not to teach sexual orientation stuff to children under the age of, 7?
Yeah, it's grade school age.
Yeah,
you shouldn't. I mean, why? Why should you? Oh, you know what I saw too?
I don't know.
DeSantis just passed another bill in Florida that to graduate high school, I think. I may be getting this wrong. I just saw it like today in passing. But in order to graduate high school, they have to pass like this budget class, like you and I were talking about. Like,
Interesting.
Yeah, you have to pass this like budget class where you can how interests are structured, you know how loans are structured. It's like this kind of thing. You have to pass this little course on it in order to graduate. He's implementing that. Stuff that we just talked about on the podcast is happening. Go look it up. Write in the comments the whole deal on it. I don't know the whole deal on this, but it's amazing to me because we've been wanting school reform, and he's literally like, my kids and my schools in Florida are going to pass a budget class in order to graduate.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish, and I've talked about it before, I wish I'd had that versus like, I don't know, maybe geometry was important.
Mm-hmm.
It seems so self-explanatory. Like I don't know any. I don't need to figure out the area of a triangle. I really don't. Like anybody out there, have you ever in your adult life, somebody's gonna be like, actually, I am a blah 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 architect or whatever. So never mind. Forget it.
You can cut it out.
I'll cut it out. No, I'll leave it. It'll be a blooper. I like this. This is great.
Are you being snarky?
No.
Sometimes you lie to me to my face.
My tank is empty. I don't know how to be snarky right now. I like this. This is great.
Okay.
Ooh. Somebody look this up. I got to know how you feel about this. Some newspaper or some big publication, I don't know if it's Times or whatever, has Zelenskyy as sexiest man alive.
That's pretty funny.
If that's not propaganda...
yeah. And what about Netflix putting his, that series he
Servant
was
of the
on?
People?
Yeah, they put
the
it.
series that his political party made.
Yeah.
And then he became president.
Like, we're not for Putin, but there's something
At least not in public. I mean, do that in private if you're going to do that.
Shut up. Like, we're not for Russia and what's going on and stuff.
No.
But there is some serious propaganda about Ukraine going
on. Oh,
down.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, what's that about? It makes me so suspicious.
Well, it's what we talked about before. Boomers were saying the same thing, that there was propaganda about Korean War and Vietnam and all that, but the share of information wasn't so rapid as it is today. The thing that I'm finding most interesting now is that the problem they're having with the propaganda is that the stories are being debunked in real time. Like that's something that didn't happen back in the day. So it makes you wonder how many decisions and how many strong feelings we all had over Vietnam and all this stuff just because of propaganda.
Yeah.
Because now you'll have this story. There was some story about the Russians supposedly bombed this mall structure. It was like a shopping mall or something like that. And it was like all the footage was just like they just bombed the shopping mall with a bunch of civilians. And come to find out, there was a bunch of tanks and there's a bunch of military vehicles in the mall.
Wow.
Yeah. So the propaganda was just basically making the Russians look like they're just horrible, evil people.
Well, okay.
And again, I'm not for Putin. There's two corrupt governments, two corrupt nations, and a lot of innocent people caught in the middle. It's awful.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we know Biden's son worked on some board in Ukraine, whatever. And then the whole laptop deal that got suppressed. Just this week it came out where Democrats are like, oh, yeah, that was real. When they will push that down and was like, it's not even real. There's no way to know. It was made up. And then it wasn't.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but how many conspiracies have to come true, be proven true before you start going like, you know what I mean? Like,
That was his laptop, for sure.
Yeah. Have you heard Kamala Harris talk about, I don't want to get political, but when stuff's funny, it's funny. Have you heard her talk about Ukraine and Russia and all that? It's like this basic. Russia is like big, and Ukraine's a small country.
Well, that is true.
But it's like...
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
You're the vice president. Let me break it down for you people. Russia is big and with guns. It's like she broke in the studio. It really is.
Well, to be fair to her, if someone was asking me these questions, I would completely blank out also.
Yeah, but you're not the vice president. It's like this startup, this like wind up, like Russia is big. Like that's the most profound thing I've heard said in a long time. Ooh, what about food shortages?
Oh, I did want to talk to you about that. Did you see where Biden was like, "Hey, food shortages are coming. We've been talking about it."
We've been talking about it. These sanctions they're gonna affect everybody, including us.
Yeah, right.
You know what he said in 2020, right?
No food shortages?
He said, we don't have a food shortage. We have a leadership shortage.
Oh.
That's what he said because of the current administration. There hasn't been a transfer of power yet. So now I kind of agree with you, Biden. We have a leadership shortage.
Well,
it's the first time ever.
What do you
think?
First
time for everything. I agree with him.
Like, does that scare you?
Food shortage?
Yeah.
No, as a Christian and as a...
Well, you can hunt.
And as a mild prepper, yes, who has weaponry and means and property. And me and my wife, we talked about it a couple days ago, actually. Talk about food shortages. And I was like, my parents have a giant freezer full of venison where we got deer. And I knew how to skin them and quarter them and prepare them. We got meat for a long time.
But he was also talking about power shortages.
Yeah.
That's scary because you can't save the
I'm buying a generator.
Oh, yeah, but we won't have the gas.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
You're supposed to dig a hole in the ground, I think.
No. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a lot of lard. Really, you can.
Yeah.
And save tons of meat. It's true. Well, that's all the time we have today, folks. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Gosh, relax. I'm going to edit all this. I'm the one editing it. What do you care?
I want it to be good. I like this.
I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to leave the crap stuff in there. All the bad stuff. I'll send you that. Just the outtakes.
Hey, did you put the other stuff on a card for me already?
No.
What? What?
You have the card. That card.
We should always be switching, so you have it ready when
it's
I get here.
confusing for me. I got behind the computer and I said, well, I'll just wait till she brings me that card so I can put it all on that card.
Now I have to wait 20 minutes.
No, not 20 minutes. You have wasted all of my time, okay? You're like, I cannot wait 5 minutes.
End our segment.
If you like your news with a little sauce. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you think about these stories that happened this week. As we get the news of the week, we're going to try to bring it out to you. This has been a fun segment. Have you had fun? Don't answer that.
Really short. This
okay.
has been Let's Talk About It. See you next week.
All right. This is...
What's wrong with you today?
I'm broken. I am broken. I am Kamala Harris.
Is Russia big?
Russia is a big country. Doing an outro is a big responsibility. We're ending this show. Thank you, guys. This is the end of the show. Oh, no. There's Kamala Harris.
Better than...
I don't even know what you just said. This is the end of the show. Let us know what you thought about these stories. We'll try to bring more stories as they come. Cliff and Chandra, this is Let's Talk About It. Keep being awesome, because that's how God made you.
That's good, except I was crying the whole time.
That makes sense.
Let's talk about it.